Okay, let me introduce you to Modulus. It is a remainder operator. In PostgreSQL, it looks like this, the percentage symbol. Now, if you do 14 modulo 6, you are going to get 2. Say 14 modulo 6, you will get a result of 2. And how is this calculated? Because 14 divided by 6 is 2 with a remainder of 2. Now, that remainder is what modulus gives you. Okay, cool. But when will I actually use that? That's a great question. So here is a real scenario. The warehouse at Zumi, which is a company, packs items into boxes. And these boxes hold exactly 6 items. Now, they want to know which orders will perfectly fill their boxes with nothing left over, and which orders will have a partially empty box. So think about it. If an order has 12 items, that is exactly 2 full boxes, right? Because um, a box is complete when it is holding 6 items. So if there are 12 items, that is exactly 2 full boxes. Okay. So what that means is if this is, say, 12 modulo 6, the answer is going to be 0, right? Because 12 divided by 6 is 2 remainder 0, right? So this is going to be 2 remainder 0. And we said modulus is the value of the remainder. Okay. So what we are saying here is in this scenario, when an order has 12 items, that is exactly 2 full boxes, which is more like 12 modulo 6 equals 0. So that's a perfect fit. But if an order has 14 items, what are we going to get? So 14 items is going to be, say, let's do this as 14 modulus 6. Okay. The 6 comes from 6 items in a box. All right. So I'm calculating based on 6 items. So if this box, if this actually has 14 items, so what is going to be the result of 14 modulo 6? So that's going to be 2 remainder 2. So that's not a perfectly fit box because it's going to be perfect if the remainder is 0, that nothing remains after division. Okay. So in that case, this is definitely not a perfect fit. Okay. So the rule is simple. If the remainder is 0, it is a perfect fit. Anything else means a partial box. All right. So let's write that. Now, this is going to come from our orders table, right? So let's write a query and then we talk about that. Okay, so I'll just get some space here and let's write our select statement. Okay, so I want to get the items. So I would say select from orders. Okay, and then let me just adjust this. Okay, so I will just quickly do this. So this is going to be order ID. And this is going to be, let's say, the item counts. All right. If you check the schema or the table, you would see in the orders table we have a lot of items here or columns, titles. So this is item counts. Okay, so we can see all these columns here. So I will just get into that. So we have the order ID, we have the item count. Um, then what are we going to do now? This item counts, which is more of the items in this box, right? So we're going to do an item count modulo 6. Okay, modulo 6. So this I was written percentage 6. And then, the result of this is going to give you the remainder. Okay, so it's going to be the remainder. So I would call this the leftover items. All right, so if it is 0, that means there is no leftover item. If it is something other than 0, then that means they are leftover items. All right, so then I would say item count divided by 6. All right, so this is just to give us the exact, values. All right, so I would call this full boxes. Okay, now I'm going to introduce something that I'm not going to talk about here, right? So I have a video that talks about cases fully. Okay, so I want to put a case, which is a conditional statement. So what I do is I'll just do case, then end. All right, then I would start writing under that. So case when item counts. All right, so item count modulo 6 equals 0, then perfect fits. So what I'm saying is if the remainder is 0, then it should create a column that says perfect fits. Okay. Else, if that's not the case, then it should just say partial box. Okay. Awesome. And now let's see if there is there any other thing I need to do. Okay, let me just do an order by. Let's sort this. So let's sort this by the item count. All right, in descending order. And let me limit this. Let's say limit 10. All right, so this is our query, and let's see the full query here. So we're doing a select order ID item count, and let's just see the result of this. Awesome. So we could see we have partial box, we have partial box, we have partial box, and we have so many partial boxes. There's no full box among these. So let's see if we have 15. If we're going to see a full box, so we don't have that. How about if we order this in ascending? Okay, so it looks like majority of the products here are more like partial boxes. Okay, so that means, and you could check, right? So let's go back to the previous query. So you could check, right? This item count is 5 and definitely is partial box because 5 modulo 6 is 0, right? So it's 6 is greater than that. So it's not complete, right? It will require one more item to make it 6 items. All right. So that is how you could understand the importance of modulus. Okay, so do not worry about the case part yet. That is covered in another video. For now, just notice the modulus. You see that item count modulo 6 gives us the leftover, and item count divided by 6 gives us the number of full boxes using integer division. Okay, so this is simple simple math, and this is real logistics value. All right. Okay.